Coming up, Typhoon Haiyan survivors move into prefab homes built by Tzu Chi in Ormoc, the Philippines. We take a look at how Tzu Chi volunteers in Southeast Asian countries inspire members of the public to do good deeds. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi volunteers have been building prefab units for Typhoon Haiyan survivors in Ormoc, the Philippines. Recently, 150 prefabricated homes have been completed and turned over to those in need. Inspired by the volunteers' kindness, a resident decided to give up his butcher job to protect lives. To support the man's decision, the volunteers promised to help him find a job.
Since Typhoon Haiyan struck Ormoc City, the residents have been waiting for this day.
Amen. Congratulations.
The prefab homes built by the Buddhist charity organization were inaugurated with a Catholic blessing ceremony.
Thank you so much for the gift of love you have given to the people of Ormoc, particularly the values being instilled on them. And I think that's what we need here most, no? The values, no? That should guide them as they pursue the rebuilding of their lives.
Sana i-adapt nila dito sa.
I hope the people here will live out Master Cheng Yin's teachings. They will have joy and peace. I hope the people in the community will help each other like a family.
Master Cheng Yin.
Master Cheng Yin, I am immersed in joy. I finally moved into my house.
To celebrate the inauguration, Tzu Chi volunteers gave needed supplies to the residents, including portable beds and blankets. As the homeowners rejoiced, one resident, Rogerio Salmogan, had mixed feelings.
I have a home now. I think it's time to change and find a better job that will make me happier. I have to be my children's role model. I will no longer be a butcher.
Since he was 11 years old, Rogelio and his younger brother have been working as butchers. They tried to protect lives according to Tzu Chi's teachings, but could not find better jobs. After giving him a home, the volunteers helped him find a job. Rogelio is now helping to build the prefab homes with pay.
I encourage my brother to follow my example. Quit slaughtering and work here. Then we can live with joy and peace of mind.
I will quit slaughtering
and help build homes for others.
Tzu Chi volunteers have given Ormoc citizens new homes and lives. As the housing project is called Great Love Village, it certainly is expanding people's great love in Ormoc City.
Recently, the Tzu Chi Singapore chapter held their second New Shoes Scholarship Award ceremony in 2015 to help underprivileged students continue their education as to ensure their future. For the 7th consecutive year, volunteers have helped more than 15,000 needy students in total.
Tzu Chi scholarship recipients and their family are grateful for the financial aid they have received.
Tzu Chi actually, everything comes from the heart and they don't even expect anything in return.
They give us a lot of people who in need of help, such like, their lack of foundation of money.
For the 7 consecutive years, the Tzu Chi Singapore chapter held New Shoes Scholarship Award ceremony on behalf of needy students. Today, more than 15,000 underprivileged students received Tzu Chi's assistance.
I will give back to the society when I grow up. I want to let needy students know that there are people who care about them and that they are not alone.
Grateful for the assistance they received, the students have vowed to reciprocate one day.
Due to last year's devastating floods on the eastern shore of Malaysia, a Muslim school in Kuala Krau Pahang was severely damaged. Back then, Tzu Chi volunteers established a cash reward program in the area to help clean up the school. To further their assistance, the volunteers also visited the school several times to better understand their needs. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers returned to the school with much-needed furniture. Visiting this Muslim school in Kuala Krau Pahang once again, Tzu Chi volunteers are here to gain a better understanding of the needs of the school.
Tables, chairs, desktops, laptops, and beds in the dormitory were washed away by the floods. The materials provided by Tzu Chi are exactly what we needed the most.
Prior to purchasing the goods, the volunteers visit different stores to make sure each item is suitable and that every penny is spent wisely.
We are not looking for luxury furniture. We just want to make sure the items are suitable for the school.
All of us want to contribute to a good cause, so we offer the volunteers a special price. I also introduced them products with higher quality too.
After purchasing the furniture, Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to deliver them to the Muslim school. Inspired by the volunteers' kindness, many students rolled up their sleeves to move in the goods.
Our teachers don't have tables and chairs to use since the new semester began 3 months ago. Thank you, Tzu Chi Foundation, for giving us new tables and chairs.
I want to express my deepest gratitude to the Tzu Chi Foundation. Thanks to the volunteers' assistance, students can continue their education without interruption.
As school is a place to nurture good citizens, in the wake of the devastating floods, it is everyone's responsibility to help students return to school as quickly as possible. Summer vacations for schools in Myanmar last from March till May. To help children from underprivileged families, Tzu Chi volunteers started offering food tutoring from last year, plus transportation fees and free lunches, in addition to teaching etiquette in an effort to help students find joy in learning. Here's more.
This is the second year that Tzu Chi's Myanmar office is offering free tutorial sessions for children. The tutorial sessions held from Mondays through Wednesdays focus on English and math. Teachers divide the students into groups and help them learn what they'll study next semester.
It is very efficient to divide up the students while teaching. We won't waste the children's time. The students with better abilities learn together. They learn better and improve fast. We repeatedly teach the less capable students so they can also understand. In the end, we want all of them to reach the same level.
I'm taking the college entrance exam next year. I'm learning next semester's math during my summer vacation. I learned a lot. I thank the teachers for being patient. They teach till we comprehend. I promise to study hard and become a teacher after graduation.
With 50 students studying the small Tzu Chi office, it is a bit crowded, but that doesn't affect the students' passion for learning.
I'm very happy to learn here. If I stayed home, I'd be playing all day and not studying as much.
Their parents are not well off and cannot send them to tutorials, so I come here to offer my teaching experience. I not only feel close to the children, I am also happy I can give them my love.
The teachers and volunteers teach and accompany the students in the tutorial sessions, hoping they'll have a fulfilling summer vacation and, most importantly, find a joy in learning.
The trains of Taiwan high-speed rail were actually made in Japan and are based on a model of Japan's bullet train. We now see how the bullet train has impacted and benefited Japan and hope that the THSR can learn from the lessons.
The Taiwan High-Speed Rail allows citizens to go visit any part of Western Taiwan, whether for business or sightseeing, and still be home by the end of the day.
The THSR has closed the distance between people. With Taiwan being so small, you can pretty much make day trips to anywhere you like without having to stay overnight.
The THSR trains actually came from the renowned Shinkansen bullet trains of Japan. Both operate at speeds above 300 kilometers per hour and share the same distributed power propulsion design. However, the Shinkansen began operation way earlier in 1964. The Tokaido Shinkansen, which connects Tokyo and Osaka, is the world's first successful high-speed rail route. Initially, the daily ridership averaged around 60,000, but now the number has climbed to 430,000, setting a world record. But the THSR that connects Taipei and Kaohsiung currently only has a daily ridership of 130,000.
Though the THSR's ridership has been increasing, it certainly can increase a lot more. However, to do that, the THSR must combine various products, services, and resources available around each station, such as packaging tickets together with hotel rooms.
To ensure the safety of its passengers, the Shinkansen has staff serving passengers on the platforms, an excellent electrical system, a reliable distributed power system, an anti-derailing system, and an earthquake response system. Thus, in spite of frequent typhoons and earthquakes in Japan, the Shinkansen has not had a passenger fatality in its 50 years of history.
Japan has invested a lot of its resources in its railway system. Also, its land management policy and policy on the use of personal vehicles all help boost its railway system. The THSR should adapt methods of risk management and anticipate and prepare for possible risks before such scenarios happen. For example, the switch machines. Shouldn't there be telltale signs before they malfunction?
The Shinkansen has helped Japan become the economic and scientific powerhouse that it is today, and also demonstrated the remarkable potential of railways. The THSR is trying to mimic such achievements by providing quality service and building elegant stations.
This goes to show that ground transportation can be just as good, if not better, than the aviation industry. I think the THSR has shown new possibilities to businesses in Taiwan.
The Shinkansen will continue to set new records and achievements in the coming years, but for the THSR, it will first have to deal with this financial crisis and frequent malfunctions before it can move forward and create a similar impact in Taiwan.
Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers visited Kelapa Gading and hosted a tea gathering to introduce Tzu Chi to the local women's club. During the visit, volunteers also promoted Tzu Chi's bamboo coin bank, to which many adopted to help spread the cycle a lot further. Meanwhile, in the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers hosted a large-scale tea gathering at Bohol Islands in Abanga, where over 850 residents attended the event.
Today, over 850 Filipinos are gathered at a gymnasium. Everyone is here to attend Tzu Chi's large-scale tea gathering held in Bohol Islands in Abanga. Among the participants is the mayor of the city, who was a great supporter of Tzu Chi.
It's just a matter of trying to internalize, trying to touch their hearts and try to awaken their minds the beauty of volunteerism and the beauty of being a blessing to others.
Tzu Chi's friendship with this area began with the 2013 Bohol Island earthquake and later Typhoon Haiyan disaster relief, all of which have inspired the residents to give.
I've already started saving my money. I deposit 1 peso a day, as this money can accumulate to help those who need it.
We have planted our seeds here in Abanga.
Though not rich materially, these residents are still willing to give a little of their love by donating to their bamboo coin banks to continue the cycle of compassion. Meanwhile, While in Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers visit Kelapa Gading, North Jakarta, and invite the local women's club to a tea gathering to learn more about Tzu Chi.
We want more people to do good deeds. We're happy that this area's women's club is so willing to contribute their love alongside our volunteers. The more love there is in society, the more harmonious it will be.
Through film footage, volunteers inform the women's club members of the Buddhist NGO's origin, which was started with 30 housewives saving 50 cents a day to help the less fortunate.
The volunteers were talking about daily acts of kindness. It isn't about a religious group asking for donations, but it's a humanitarian project to help the needy, as these monies are used on those really in need of such assistance. I'm very happy to stand with Tzu Chi volunteers and contribute to this.
To us, the bamboo coin banks are an inspiration to put our love into action. Through our daily actions of depositing small amounts of money, we can accumulate our love to help others in dire need.
Knowing every little bit helps, both the women's club members and the residents of Inabanga adopt a bamboo coin bank to help spread compassion to those neglected by society.
In Taiwan, prior to Children's Day, students of the elementary division of Tzu Chi High School, affiliated with Tzu Chi University in Hualien, decided to hold a charity fundraiser to raise money for the needy. But first, to China's Guangdong, we visit the construction site of the Dongguanjing Si Hall and see how Tzu Chi volunteer Ye Yuhui has been devoting herself.
This is the miraculous power of Tzu Chi's uniforms. After putting on one, Ye Yuhui appears as a humble volunteer instead of a strong-headed Taiwanese businesswoman.
After the work on the foundation began last March, I would show up every day unless I was out of town.
Since the construction of the Jinsi Hall in Dongguan, Guangdong, began more than a year ago, Ye Yuhui has been spending 8 to 11 hours there almost every day.
I don't ask for good health, but only for the alertness of the mind. I don't wish for lesser responsibilities, but only for the ability to shoulder more.
Having witnessed the transformation at the construction site, Ye is most grateful to the construction crew.
Last summer, we measured the temperature here at the site with a thermometer, and the reading was 48 degrees Celsius. It could only be hotter on the top of the building, so we must be grateful for them. Once I went up there, and after just some 10 minutes, I was dizzy and couldn't see clearly.
Since completing her certification in 2005, Ye says Tzu Chi has polished away her roughness, making her a more well-rounded person. Over in Taiwan, at the elementary division of Tzu Chi High School, affiliated with TCU, students kick off their long weekend and Children's Day celebration with a charity fundraiser.
In the questionnaire, children mostly said they want to hold a used item sale to raise funds to help others and even donate stationery to countries that need them.
In the past, children would typically demand gifts for Children's Day. However, this time I see my granddaughter is trying to give, which has a higher purpose. I think that's wonderful.
Every store features second-hand items donated by kind individuals. The school also invited the nearby Taicang and Suiyuan elementary schools to join the fair. There are also interactive games for children to enjoy, instead of simply playing with smartphones all day long. With a heart of compassion and gratitude, the children are sharing their blessings with the world and giving meaning to this year's Children's Day celebration.
In Banqiao, New Taipei City, Taiwan, volunteers brought an electric medical bed for a Tzu Chi care recipient who is bedridden due to illness. Meanwhile, in Kaohsiung, Tzu Chi volunteer offered monetary support for a leukemia patient who couldn't afford her medical bill.
After beating her leukemia, Ke Shugen was unable to move freely due to the side effects of the treatments. Now she helps at her mother's noodle shop and lives every moment of her life to the fullest. In 2008, Ke Shugen underwent chemotherapy without medical insurance and ended up owing the hospital more than 1 million NT dollars. Thankfully, with the help from Tzu Chi, she has been able to pull through this difficult time. While undergoing chemotherapy, Ke Shugen was also seeking proper treatment. She finally found a bone marrow match. However, the transplant cost $4,000, which she was unable to afford.
We did not know what to do, but thankfully the Tzu Chi sisters helped us.
We want to help with all the medical fees, but Ke's mother insisted on paying what she could afford, while we paid the rest for her in full.
Tzu Chi volunteers not only provided the mother-daughter pair with financial assistance, but also continue to offer support to the family to this day.
It was the volunteers who always stayed by our side when we felt helpless. They always give us support when we encounter problems.
I'm truly grateful to Tzu Chi. Without their help, I would not be able to live.
In Banqiao District, New Taipei City, today, volunteers have a challenge set out for them, delivering an electromedical bed and moving it into an old apartment. 4 volunteers with an average age of more than 60 years old successfully delivered the bed into the home of the care recipient. The medical bed served as a great help for Ms. Lau and her son.
Because the bed is a bit small for my overweight son, it is better if the bed could have wheels attached to it. Also, the on-off switch does not seem to function properly.
Lau's son, who suffered from a brain disease, has been bedridden for more than a year. Despite being nearly 70 years old, Ms. Lau still needs to take care of her son all by herself. Upon learning the news, volunteers brought a used electrical medical bed from the recycling station for their use. After laying a waterproof pad on the bed, Ms. Lau quickly lifts her son onto it. Ms. Lau's son had a hard time talking due to his disability, so uses his thumb to show his appreciation. Ms. Lau is now also all smiles, as she can use the remote control to easily change the angle of the bed. The elderly mother is determined to carry out the burden with a smile.
We go to Kaohsiung, Taiwan at the end of the show, where Tzu Chi volunteers helped Mrs. Su, a spinal cerebellar atrophy sufferer, cleaned up her collector home. Thanks to volunteers' assistance, Su and her son can finally live in a more comfortable and safe environment. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.